for the Butler Bulldogs. They beat South Carolina on Friday and Virginia on Sunday. To talk more about it, he is the head coach of the Butler Bulldogs. He is Thad Matta. Coach, the Greenbrier served you well, did it not?
Yeah, it was a good trip. I thought that we played some good basketball down there. Guys really competed, and a lot like the week before coming out of the SMU game. Saw things that we did well. Saw a lot of things we got to get better at, but I like the direction that we're heading in.
I was watching a little behind-the-scenes video of you talking to your team after the UVA win, and you had shared with them a text message you had sent the night before the game. For our audience that might have missed it, could you share what you wanted your team to know the night before that UVA game?
No, it was just more it was pretty simple. Of we had to be the team that was that played harder, that played more together, and we had to be the tougher team in the game, and I thought we did those things.
Thad, when you look at, again, we've talked about him, I feel like on a weekly basis here, Finley Bizjack, when teams are going to scout him, they're going to try to take things away from him, how have you seen him grow to respond when there's no hiding as one of your top guys?
Right. It's a great question. I think with Finley, because of his, he's got a very high basketball IQ, and we've got to move him around and get creative in ways to create space for him. And probably the thing that Finley does that goes as unnoticed as anything is he's an unbelievable screener. And when he sets screens, it buys him time to be more open. And it's stating the obvious. He's really, really fast when he has the ball and can get to the rim or get to a spot to get a three off. And so I think that the biggest thing with him is just being creative and using him different ways throughout the course of the game to free him up.
Thad Matta, the Butler head coach on the Payless Liquors Hotline. I got one more on Finley Bizjack. In this day and age of college basketball, Coach, obviously a huge part of it is players staying with your program and not portaling it up on an annual basis, but also there's an element of you wanting those players to also stay. And with Finley and a team that had a lot of turnover, particularly from the frontline guys, I get some of it was eligibility. But, what, I guess, was it about wanting him to return as well? Because, again, from a new faces standpoint, there's a lot of them for you.
Right. Well, it's funny because, now with the high turnover, you don't always get to build a great bond with a player. And I think that's something Finley and I have developed over his time here is, just sort of a trust. I think he trusts me, I trust him. And, the way Finley finished the season last year is exactly how he's playing right now. And he understands our system. He understands the coaching that we're doing and what we're trying to do. And that does make a difference. Finley and I were talking the other day, and he said, the game is, in the time that I've been here, it's really slowed down, and that's what happens to players as they mature. They start seeing things at a slower pace as they're developing, and that's what I really am seeing in Finley when he's out there on the court. He's doing a great job.
To pivot a bit to the rest of your roster, and again, we have Thad Matta, Butler men's basketball coach, joining us here on the Payless Liquors Hotline. Thad, I know as a coach, you're always going to stress rebounding. You're able to out-rebound Virginia 43-39, and you have a couple of guys stand out on that front. Drayton Jones, season best, 9 rebounds, and then you have Jamie Kaiser, the Maryland transfer, matching his career high with 10 rebounds. So from a grit standpoint, what did you like about that side of it? Because you know how it goes in this game. Sometimes you're not going to make shots, and so you got to get more shots in, and you get that by getting the rebound.
No, extra possessions, it's huge, and I'll say this, and I thought Jamie Kaiser was our MVP down there this weekend. His play was good. He had a play against Virginia where he dove on the floor in the backcourt and literally flipped the ball up, and he slid out of the screen, and Finley went down, shot a three, and here comes Jamie flying in, he tips it in. It's one of the top 3 plays I've ever as a coach seen one of my players do. And, he got 3 shots off in the game and had 10 rebounds. And, he, at one point during the game, he said, hey, let me guard number 2, the little guard that was hurting us, and did a great job on him. And, a lot of things that Jamie did down there went unnoticed. to probably the common fan, but myself and our staff and our team, we know what he did down there, and it was great to see. And Drayton, getting 9 rebounds. We've said this all along. We've got to have that from that spot between he and Johan. They've got to do a great job rebounding the ball for us.
Get Thad Matta with us here. Butler back inside of Hinkle coming up Friday afternoon. They've got Wright State after their impressive weekend in the Greenbrier. Coach, I don't think we've ever asked you this. You played at Butler, but you transferred there after a couple of years at Southern Illinois. What led to you transferring to Butler?
I'll be honest. I was only at Southern Illinois for 1 year, and I wasn't good enough to play there, and I knew that. And I wasn't delusional or anything like that. And then Butler offered me a huge NIL package that nobody knew about, and, called room, board, and 3 squares. But no, I think I knew back then Southern Illinois was in the Missouri Valley and was a bigger program than Butler was at the time. And I've said this before, it was life-changing for me to get here, and smaller school, and the family-oriented nature that Butler is. It was the best move I ever made in my life.
Was that, did you overlap with Barry Collier then?
Barry was my coach my senior year. I redshirted 1 year and played 2 years for Coach Sexton, and then Barry came in my senior year.
Got it. And the rest is history, of course, with Thad Matta and his coaching career at Butler, now back there. And again, the Bulldogs, nice start to this season. A happy Thanksgiving. What's a must on the plate of Thad Matta coming up tomorrow afternoon?
I'm going to green egg a turkey, and I don't know. You guys use the green egg at all?
Well, it's too intimidating for me, but you have my full trust in it. What time's the turkey going on?
We practice tomorrow, so it as most of America gets to enjoy Thanksgiving Day off, we'll be in full grind. So whenever we get home from practice, and it'll probably be tomorrow afternoon. Sometimes I think we go at 11 a.m.
Green egg and the turkey up there at the Matta.
That does sound good.
Household. I would have a full trust in Coach Matta to get that done.
No doubt. No, I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, happy Thanksgiving to you. Congrats on the nice work at the Greenbrier, and we'll be watching Friday afternoon.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.